Hey everybody, welcome to another video review. Hope everyone's having a happy and safe Labor Day weekend. So for this occasion, I decided to do something a little bit special. I want to talk to you about one of the truly the best collectibles there can be if you're an Alien fan. Let's take a look at the Stan Winston Studios Alien Warrior 1-to-1 bust from Sideshow Collectibles. Normally I put backgrounds when I do these reviews now, just because I don't want to show my kitchen and my refrigerator, but this thing is so massive and so big. I really have to have like a maybe even a little private studio or something to truly showcase him off. And a background, poster board background is just not going to work. He's bigger than that, and he's going to turn around, and not to mention he's black, and so black against the black background doesn't show off very well. So I apologize for this one. You're going to get a little bit more of my kitchen background maybe than you want. But I think that probably shows off this bust. He's so dominating and so amazing that I doubt many of you will be looking too much at the background anyways. He's very, very long, very, very deep, depending on how you measure him. So here he is from the other side, other profile. So what's there to say about this magnificent piece? It's considered one of the holy grails of a Alien collection. They only made 400 of these, so there's not many who own it. It's an exclusive club. There were many recasts made of this bust in China, Korea, Thailand, etc., of varying quality. So be careful out there if you find one that's too good to be true. It probably is. The thing that's a little bit hard though for even the recasters to replicate is this part right here. Those are chromed teeth. And while it's certainly not impossible for a recaster to chrome their own parts, it's usually an expense that they're reluctant to do. And so if you couple it with a numbered edition and these chrome teeth, you're probably in good hands that this is real. You can see the chrome teeth actually even on the inner tongue. So this is a legendary collectible in the circles of alien collectors that care about such things. It's one of the first pieces that Sideshow Collectibles actually created when they entered into a partnership with Stan Winston Studios. Back then, Stan Winston himself was actually alive, and John Rosengrant, one of his chief assistants, was involved in the partnership with Sideshow and was involved heavily in many of these pieces. Again, the Alien Queen quarter scale bust was one of the first collaborations, and I'll have a video of that up eventually. So back then, in the infancy of these collectibles and these props, no expense was spared in creating it. Things were a lot different back then in terms of, I think, the cost of the factories, Stan Winston's personal supervision, John Rosengrant's heavy involvement. That's why I believe that a bust like this, licensed, truly will never really be made available ever again. And with the various licenses obtained by companies even in Japan, like say Prime One or Cool Props, they haven't been able to replicate this, not in this size, not in this detail, at the cost that people would accept. This retailed for $999, less than $1,000, which if you really consider what things are going for these days is unbelievable. And now you'll be lucky to obtain this on the secondary market for double or even triple that price. At its peak, this was going for $4,000 plus. I think it's gotten a little bit lower since then because again, the market is a little bit more saturated with other versions of this. Quite inferior in my opinion, but you know, that does lower the price a little bit. I think with some luck and some patience, 2,500 to 3,000 is attainable. I personally got this one for about 2,500 shipped from the Middle East, I think was the region that this came from. And so I was pretty satisfied at 2,500, including shipping internationally speaking. And this is again one of those busts where I rarely like to spend aftermarket prices, but sometimes it's worth it. And this is one of those examples. So let's just kind of go in there for some close-ups. This is of course from Stan Winston Studios themselves, who made the film, the special effects and the props for the film Aliens. It's about as accurate as it gets. This is from the original molds used for the movie Aliens. Everything is perfectly accurate. On top of that, very, very excellent attention to the mold and the cast with the different pieces, and the paint back then I think is outstanding. Of course, anything can be made better, but with a custom paint job by a professional paint master, but for a factory job, only 400 pieces. They did a phenomenal job, very nice shading, the different colors to give it a little bit more texture. It's not all just one flat black that you'll sometimes see in cool props. And again, I think, in my opinion, at the risk of sounding controversial, I think Cool Props takes a lazy little shortcut. They just say, hey, you know what? We want to give you accuracy. You want accuracy? We're going to give you what those props look like right out of the movie studio when they were making the movie. And I don't think that's very fair because a lot of times, those props don't look very good. They're just there to create a shot, an effect for the movie. CGI is going to be layered afterward. At least I don't want a really, really bad, crappy looking rubbery prop just because, it was used or happened to be used for a few seconds on the film. You kind of want a recreation of what the effect is in the movie. You want not a cheap piece of resin of the alien warrior. You want to see the alien warrior from the movie. And I think Cool Props fails a little bit on that as an excuse for not paying what they should be paying to get really, really good factory level, production level paint jobs. And when you compare Cool Props with this original Sideshow factory piece, you can clearly see the difference in quality and the attention to detail that we have. A thing that's interesting, again, in the interest of money, a lot of the newer products only give you the actual head of the alien. And you saw that with the Giger bust, as well as at the alien dog 101 bust from Cool Props, which I will go over. And it only really has this part. You only get the head. The entire torso, the entire bust, really, of the bust is completely gone. You just get the head, which is okay. But I think that having the shoulders and that upper torso adds so much to the effect. It adds so much mass, so much money, so much shipping as well. I understand that, but it really, it really does make a huge difference to have that. So there you have it. Let's get a little bit of close up. So the head, you can see the clear translucent resin they used to give you the tendons of the jaw, the chrome teeth as we talked about. And if you look in, you can actually see the chrome teeth of the tongue, not retracted. Here you go from the other side. Over time, I think it's been known that this clear translucent resin can be known to yellow little by little over age. So there you have that. You have the ridge. Of course, for the alien warrior, it is not a clear dome, it is translucent. So you can appreciate that. You can see the little spotting, the paint jobs here, kind of shading, spotting. Very, very nice work. I'm gonna go on the sides and kind of see some of the texturing, the detail. This piece is just so big. It just takes forever to kind of show you all the little things. And a dome on the back. turn it around. Okay, you can see one of the tentacles, the horns, so to speak, coming from the backside. Here's the top. And then we go from this side here. Hopefully getting an appreciation of the way the light plays on the textures. Get an idea of Giger's unique design with all these hoses, and yet organic. Here's the shoulder on one side. Goes all the way down to the first rib, pretty much down here. Here's the undersurface of the neck. The chin. Sort of underneath there. I'm try to do with flash later on, so there'll be a little bit better look. You can see everything. Here's the undersurface, the back. There's the spines right here. And here's the other horn on the side. The alien, of course, has 4 of them. You see the upper 2. You see the spines here as well, all the way up. And then the other shoulder. This part here is detachable. Otherwise, it comes in one piece. So basically 2 pieces, the bust and then this detachable appendage right there. So there you have it. I'll stop at quarter scale, quarter view bust, not quarter scale, but quarter view, and just really fills up the entire frame. So hopefully this video gives you some idea of the sheer size and mass of this thing. It's so big, I barely have the ability to just rotate them, but with full extension of my arm, just kind of rotate them, spin them around. This is my hand. You can see how big this thing is compared to my hand. It's true life size. There you go. So definitely very, very happy to have one of these. The alien dog one, even the custom ones that are painted by guys like, Yavuz and Chase Smith out there, the dog one, I really wish there was a dog version of this, with the full bust. Even the ones, again, painted by the customizers out there, the great paint masters, it just basically has the head and like the beginnings of the neck. Does not have the shoulders, does not have the chest. And I hope that this shows you how much it adds to have, again, real chrome teeth, to have the entire upper body. It just adds so much more than just having the head itself, And I do own the Cool Props 101 Giger bust. I do own the dog alien. And I own them because they are the licensed props. They are 1-to-1. It's the best you've got in terms of licensed materials. But I think it would be so much more if, for instance, the Giger one actually had that bust. But then look at the price. That Giger is almost $2,000. Granted, it does have the signature of the Giger Museum, but $2,000 just for the head alone. Thank God they chromed the teeth. But if they put it on top of a bust, the chest, all of these areas here, if they included all of this, I mean, you're looking at probably easily 3,000. But I think many of us would have gladly paid that to have that. And the same with the dog, of course. All right, so again, one of my favorite collectibles, of course. Certainly is never going to leave my collection if I can help it. And again, I'm one of only 400 made. So I'll splice this with some flash to show you some of the other details, and I'll return again with that. Okay, so this is with flash on. Let's take a look at some close-ups, maybe show a few details that wasn't otherwise available. So here with flash, you can definitely see the inside of the mouth a lot better. You can see the tongue, you can see the chrome, again, glistening. Here's the chest. We're gonna move on up. The undersurface of the neck. I'll turn it. So you can see here, there's the tendons on the side. I'm gonna turn it around. You can see the paint job on the undersurface. And there it goes. You see some of that detail there. Backing up. And all of the detail of the hoses, the ridges. I don't even know what half of this stuff is called. All I know is that it looks amazing. Again, true 1-to-1 size. Again, hopefully, again, you can just see the paint job on this. And what a great job the production version was. You know, people make this assumption or mistake that they think that an Alien War is just all flat black, nothing but black. But I hopefully can show you there's a lot of texture, a lot of different paints, a lot of stripes, a lot of different colors that come out when you see this piece in person. This is the back with the spines here and here. Again, just fantastic detailing of the sculpt. I know it's been said way too often about too many pieces, but they just don't make it like these anymore. They're never gonna make another prop replica like this. I mean, Stan Winston sadly passed away. Stan Winston Studios become legacy effects, and I just don't see them ever making a collectible like this to sell again, of this stature, this much detail, the quality of this paint job, the chrome teeth. It really just doesn't get any better than this. Look at that. See, this is how you look at this piece head on, and you just do not have an appreciation of the sheer mass until you take this head and you just spin it to the side, and you just see how deep that head goes and how truly massive it is. Over 3 feet deep. Again, have a happy Labor Day. Hope you enjoyed this video of a truly rare holy grail of alien collectibles, aliens collectibles. The Stan Winston Studios 101 Alien Warrior bust from Sideshow Collectibles. Until next time, take care.